Here's Restitution. She comes out of the Justice family. Her dam had a 90 and top 5 doe. Her dam's dam was a fabulous doe, also named Restitution, but with an R, who never got the credit that she deserved. She got milk fever and died in the year that would have been her big lactation. The amazing thing about her is she got stronger as her lactation went on. So Restitution's got a couple brothers out there working for dairymen, even though her dam is a grade. Dairymen thought enough of her dam to use the buck kit. Of course, most dairymen don't register their stock, so they don't need a registered buck. The teats actually angle in a little bit. So her son is going to do a great job for us on Sonnen mammaries, where out of every 1,000 Sonnen mammaries, 950 of them have the teats placed too far out on the udder on either side. Means that the inside of the leg is brushing along the teat with every step, putting funky little germs there, just waiting to give you a case of gangrene mastitis, and also means that the milking machines can't drain all the milk out unless you've got a milker that's smart enough to stick their hand up and push up the medial. So this doe has a 90 after her name, and I want you to know the American Dairy Goat Association is doing a wonderful thing by driving a wedge between what gets a big appraisal score and what wins in the show ring. I doubt that we've ever exhibited this doe in the show ring for various reasons. She would not go grand, but for a dairyman, she's a fabulous choice. So the American Dairy Goat Association is doing a wonderful thing by making a distinction between a high-scoring appraisal doe and a show doe. Appraisal is a tremendous tool for a dairyman, and we hope that you'll support that. And here's Extort. She is the dam of Spice Girl, who we looked at earlier. Actually, it's a full sister, I think. That's the dam of Spice Girl. But a real bargain, if I were shopping my own list, would be her daughter, Z-Tort. Z-Tort's sire, Czar, is a buck that I have total confidence in because Z-Tort's a little tiny yearling. She doesn't have any record yet, so nothing has happened to push the price of her children up, and that ought to be a good buy. I'm thinking show-wise, Extort is really more of a 87, and gotta respect the appraiser for being willing to jump up there and lay a 91 down. I bought the dam from a herd that used our bucks over and over, generation after generation, and I visited them several times and looked at what they had. And the dam's dam had a record of like 5,000 pounds, but it never got published because the herd didn't feel like having a check test and jumping through some of the hoops that you have to jump through for ADGA to publish your numbers. Here's Venice. We spoke about her earlier. Now, her mammary is not quite as big as the ones that you looked at, and that's because the night before appraisal, I went out and milked her at 1 a.m., so we wouldn't totally ruin her lactation. You never know how long that the appraiser is going to take to get to her. We're looking at a little rear pastern weakness, seems to me. I didn't notice that before. We breed for strong back pasterns because the primary fault in the Sonnen breed is crappy back pasterns. The sire of Venice is a tribute to the Sonnen Brotherhood. Probably the greatest Sonnen breeder of all time is Ray Vieira. My friend Lori put it together. 3 out of 4 of Shark's grandparents were created by artificial insemination, and Helen Snyder, a wonderful supporter of dairy goats for the 30 years that I've known her, finally bred the actual buck Shark, and Janice Kessler from Pennsylvania was kind enough to lease Shark to us. You rarely have a proven doe. It's easy to have a proven buck because a buck can have 40 daughters a year, so he can be pretty heavily scrutinized. But Venice is old enough, so she's had 4 mature daughters, and they're all 90s, and they all got great milk records. So for someone who really wants to make an investment, and we're probably speaking over $2,000, in a large dairy herd that will yield them high butterfat and high protein, and a doe that can last for year after year after year after year, this would be one of your very best choices from the Capricorn Sonnets. Here's Macy. What a story. The doe carries 2 right ear tattoos because someone bought her dam from us while the dam was pregnant, so Macy was born someplace else. And we have a money-back guarantee, and we got Macy back. So I'd like to point out that the Capricorn Sonnets are very friendly, which is something that the dairymen, when they call in, they compliment us. They say, well, you know, your buck's so friendly. These other bucks that I have are not nice to deal with. This is what general appearance is supposed to look like. There probably isn't another doe in the United States that has general appearance that's a whole lot better than this. Now, the mammary is not what American dairy goat judges want in the way of a mammary. So Macy gets her incredible 91 based on what we call GA as opposed to what we call MA. Of course, the dairy character and the body capacity is there. Rocket comes from the blue line, and they're named by Gems. We call her Rocket because she raced around like a madman when she was a little kid. This is what the linear appraisal program wants, because 2 different appraisers in 2 different years gave her E, 4 E's straight across with a 91 behind it. It's very unusual for a Sonnet to pull a E in that first score of general appearance. The top line is what the people who love to go to shows are looking for. I greatly doubt that fabulous rump angle really means anything other than that it's beautiful to look at. And the Rocket's not quite showing you as much capacity as she really has because, like a couple other does, I went out there at midnight and milked her out so she wouldn't be cutting back on her lactation by the time the appraiser got to her. There's that big, wide chest. I want to tell you that a lot of the great milkers have big, wide chests, not all of them. But the fact that somebody has a big, wide chest doesn't mean at all that they're going to be a great milker. Rocket's last doe kid was bought for $2,300. If you want to make an investment in a doe that's got it all, conformation, great components, long lactation, Rocket milked through last winter, no problem. You've got the funds, and we're talking about the same price as a beat-up used pickup truck. The return year after year after year may be worth it if she gets your herd average up by 500 pounds and factoring in something for components. You're getting 30 cents a pound. That's $150 times 100 does. I think that works out to $15,000 year after year after year after year, even to her grandchildren, hopefully. This is the last doe on the 2010 video, taken the same day as linear appraisal. I thank you for putting up with my New York accent. I'm from the South, but I got blocked sinuses and I sound terrible. I can't stand listening to myself. Be sure, if you're interested, to get the up-to-date price list, because every time somebody turns in a great test or a bad test, we change the prices. When somebody gets a great appraisal score or a big show in or a big show loss, they're continually being changed. Once you make your deposit, your price doesn't change. And if your kid is the best kid of the whole crop and you reserved it in advance, we still ship it to you. We don't hold it back like the other breeders. And if you talk to other dairymen, they will tell you that we're straight shooters. Thanks for your time. We wish the best for you in your goat dairying endeavors.